Morning guys, how are you? Hope you're all okay. On a bit of a roll at the minute with videos and everything, which I feel like I'm actually getting back to it, and which is really good. Right, this is just an update on the cell build, the M1a1 Abrams by Rye Fields' new M1a1 Abrams with the full interior. It's absolutely wonderful kit. It's beautifully detailed. It's just, I raved on about Rye Fields with one of their first kits that I got a few months ago, how good they were, and it truly is. This kit is something else. I've only come across one sort of fit issue at the minute, but I think in a way that could have been my fault really, because if I'd spent a bit more time on the part, and I perhaps could have done it, but looking back it could well be my fault, but to be fair I'm not sure. So anyway, by the by. So for reference material for this, I've been using the Images of War books. I've said to you before who's been following me about these books. They're incredible for detail. They're just absolutely fantastic. I mean, you've got pictures all over of all the different types of Abrams. I mean, that's the driver's compartment there, the driver's seat, and these books are a fountain of knowledge, and you've got to get them. They're Images of War, but they just really are fantastic things to get. I know a few guys have bought the Tiger 1 and Tiger 2 Images of War book recently. I've got quite a few of these because they just are, so I just can't recommend them highly enough, and they're quite cheap as well for what you go. I mean, they are, a lot of them range from about £8.99 to £14.99 in Britain, but if I get mine off Amazon and you can get them for about £5-6, which is brilliant. Some of them brand new as well, so you can't moan. And the other one, I've been using this one, which is the Tusk M1a1, M1a2 and Sepp Abrams and the Tusk, which is again fountain of knowledge, which is great. Part of it's in German and the other part's in English, which is good. On this you can do 2 M1a1s and an M1a2 Abrams. You can't do any of the Tusks, but this is like the original Gulf War one, 1991 era. So obviously Tusk wasn't brought out then. So yeah. So what I'm going to actually do is I've actually opting for. See, people who follow me will know that I don't tend to do anything to particularly correct detail on certain things, just now and again if I decide to. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do the M1a1 here, that version, but with part of that paint scheme. So I'm going to do the NATO paint scheme, but with the side skirts in sand, which I absolutely loved. There's a picture of it here on the front of this, which is going to be that sort of paint call out, I think. And it's just absolutely beautiful. I don't know why, I just think it's quite good. And with the Abrams being my favourite tank as well of all time, I've got a couple in the stash as well. I've got the Tamiya M1a1 Abrams and the Tusk version, and also the Meng one with its Tusk as well, which is awesome. None of them two have got the full interior, but again this one's going to be the M1a1, which I'm going to do with the full interior. The downside of Rye Field kits are, for me anyway, I mean, I don't mind the rubber band tracks at all. They don't, especially nowadays, because you can do them up as though, quite good nowadays, and they're far superior to the ones that used to be years ago. Are these are the tracks for the vehicle. And it comes with a little template, so apparently there's no glue needed, but I have seen a few guys say that these are not particularly great and don't work that well. And then there's the other bit, the clamps that go over the top of the pads, track pads, so to speak. So that's the downside for me. But the upside is with what I've noticed with a lot of Rye Field kits, in fact all of them that I've bought or seen or had a quick look at in the shops, are the Decals. The Decals are awesome, and they are bet by Cartograph, which they're the best in the world as far as a lot of us modelers are concerned. So that is going to be awesome. So that, I just know that they're going to not have much of a problem with them, shall we say. So that's a good upside with that. So where are we so far? Right, well, the turret is complete. It is also primed as well. However, I've just knocked off one of the machine guns off the top, which isn't the best of things to do, Steve, but hey ho. So yeah, the machine guns are actually done, but like I say, they're not the best. It just needs to be a bit better. They're primed with UMP grey primer. I was going to use the actual MIG ammo primer, which I bought quite a bit of, but it doesn't matter what I do. If I thin it, if I do it neat out of the airbrush, I don't thin it, I just do it neat, or if I thin it, if I use MIG ammo's thinner, it's still orange peels, and I just cannot. I've cleaned the model, I've washed it with different things, I washed it with water with a bit of vinegar in, you name it, I've done it, and it's still orange peels. I've changed the pressure down on the compressor, it just will not conform for me, whether it's the environment or what, I don't know, but it's not overly hot, it's not overly cold, so I just cannot get on, and I'm a bit angry really, because I spent a fortune about 5 months back getting loads of the MIG ammo paint in instead of Model Air and all that, and Tamiya, because I just wanted to give everything else a go and give that another shot, and it's really disappointed me, so I was a bit gutted. So I primed it with that, and it started orange peeling, so I thought, right, so I got out the trusty old UMP stuff, grey primer, and it's done a treat. It's levelled everything back out again, which is good. So that is, I don't know if you can see guys, but that is the turret interior. That's the inside of the turret. You've got plenty of photo etch around here where the cage for the gunners and the loader and the captain and the commander is. I don't know if you can't see all that particularly well, but the detail is absolutely incredible in there, it really is. But like I say, this is just primed at the minute, so but the detailing paint, I was going to leave all this out so I could take it off and paint it easily, but to be fair, after looking at a load of pictures, a lot of these, apart from like obviously the electrical buttons and all that on the inside of the turret and that they'll be using, is basically white and grey and sort of like a duck eggy colour, so it's not going to be a massive issue. And I've tested before I did it, I can actually get my paintbrush in quite easily to a lot of the tight gaps, so it's not going to be a problem. But one of my builds I've got planned for this year is Rye Fields Initial Tiger with the full interior, so I'm going to try, I'm going to build that as well now. I've got the patience for it, but that's going to be in the, not yet, but it will be soon. But yeah, so that's I was going to actually as well use a replacement market barrel, but because obviously all the load of companies have brought out Abrams kits, a lot of the metal, you can't get a lot of the barrels at the minute, they're quite hard to come by. And I looked at RB, I even went to RB Models direct, and they haven't got them in the warehouse neither, so that's a bit of a boo-boo. So, but anyway, by the by, it has actually gone together really well. There's no seam line. I think I'm actually quite impressed with that for myself, because that is probably, as a lot of other armour modelers do as well, find that a right ball ache to get rid of the seam on the tank barrel, and that has always defeated me, because I've always used the wrong sanders or whatever else, So I've used the, again, trusty old UMP sanders, which now I would not go back from. They're absolutely brilliant. Obviously I use some of the thinny sticky different ones from different companies for thinner ones, but overall I use the UMP sanders, which are fantastic. But on the whole, I can actually get a paintbrush into most of it there, so that's not going to be a massive issue. But again, it is absolutely incredible detail, it really is. And then of course you've got the where the ammunition goes, and again another compartment just here where the commander will sit. I mean, I don't know if you can't really see, like I say, because it's not the best quality, but there's all your ammunition as well in the back, so that's quite good, so I can get to most of that as well. The photo etch in this kit as well has been absolutely brilliant, it really has. The only downside with the part of it was of this machine gun. You've got the photo etch part for the actual holder, and over time with bending it to try and get it to conform and all that, it's snapped, and of course it's snapped off this, but again, not a massive problem. You can fit it back together with a bit of CA glue. So I'll put this, what I'll do is, as I'm putting it all in, I shall fit it all back together so you can see it all as one, the turret. So yeah, it all fits together. So what I've done is I've actually left this all unglued, obviously, so I can take it, you know, and paint it a bit easier for when it comes to it. And then there is the outside of the turret, which again is absolutely beautiful. I really do like. Of course, the machine gun you've got on the loader's side here, which is snapped off, but again I can put that back, which is not a problem. But yeah, it is absolutely a delight to build. This kit is. Okay, it's taken me nearly 2.5 months to get to this stage, but it's only because obviously I'm not sort of painting and I'm not sort of making it every single night and spending hours on it like I was with a lot of other kits beforehand. Obviously relationships and family time and all that come in now, but again, to be fair, I haven't missed it, and the lovely other half has said, you know, if you just go and do an hour on the kit here and there if you want to, but you know, I just haven't really wanted to be fair, a lot of the time. So yeah, there's that, and then you get, again, on the inside, I don't know if you can actually see, but there you've got a couple of, like, just there, can you see there is where obviously the observation sort of for the captain to see what's you know, obviously outside before he opens the hatch. Now this hatch is absolutely lovely, it really is, but that had about 8-9 parts just for the hatch, you know, so it just goes to show how good and well detailed it is. None of the observation glasses have been put in yet around the hatch and that, because obviously I want to do them separate and that, and paint them better, but you can actually slide them in there at a separate time. So there's that, and I should just put it all back together so you can see it all so it's all nicely done. But like I say, it is one of my most favourite kits I've done so far, and it's a cracking way to start the new year off with an absolutely delight of a kit. Obviously I haven't done the aerials properly on the back, but that is basically, there you go, and I'm going to basically leave it unstuck as well, so you know you can take it off and that. But that is the Abrams so far. Of course I've got a grey top on, which I've only just noticed, so that's not particularly great, but that is the Abrams so far. So I am quite chuffed. The kit, honestly, I can't recommend this kit enough, guys. If you love your Abrams and modern armour, this is a must for your stash, because it is an absolute delight of a kit, it really is. But that is the update to that so far. And where I am at the minute on the lower hull, basically all the wheels and the lower hull is done. You know, all the wheels and the bogies are all there, done, ready. The driver's compartment, that is all done, because obviously in the Abrams they sort of sit back and lie, you know, on the backs in the Abrams for the drivers. But again, I don't know if you can see, but the detail in that as well really is brilliant. But yeah, that's if you see it, and then there's the engine bay, which is also very smart. You've got the computer, the screens here that tells you all the levels of the oils and everything for it, and all the piping, and it's just incredible. And this isn't even done yet, it really isn't. So what I'm trying to do is like sort of, you know, do each part of the kit as separate little model bits, so that when that's done, which hopefully will be today, I'm hopefully finishing this off today, and this is the engine, which again is coming on a treat. Now this is the fit issue I was on about, is here on the engine. Around here, this bit here just would not fit on any, it just doesn't fit correctly at all. It doesn't right, it's not, you know, it just won't fit anyway. I've tried sanding and all sorts. However, when you fit it into place into the back of the engine deck and the actual compartment, because I'm on camera now, you watch me mess all this up. Help if I put it in the right way, Steve. It doesn't necessarily fit terribly, you know. Okay, but then you've got the vents and everything on the back there as well that will cover that up. So it's not an absolute massive issue, that isn't. You know, so, but it is, I'm going to leave it as well unstuck so you can just take it out and all that. So I'm going to actually try and make it so it will, all the compartments and everything will come out, so it'll all look really smart and that. Also, in the clear parts that you get a load of bottles, water bottles, all different sizes and shapes, which I'm really impressed with. So that's really good, just for a bit of extra, you know, diorama bit or something. I just think it's really good. And then I've done all the wheels as well. That's all ready and done. All the wheels are done. One thing about the Abrams is on the wheels, in real life, they have basically clear bolts on there on the inside to hold the wheel on, because then it's so you can actually check the levels of the fluid and the oil and everything that's in the wheels and the bogies, which I think is brilliant. Well, actually, Cartograph have thought of that, and they're actually clear, which is brilliant. I'm really tough with, because a lot of the, you know, kits and that, people forget about that. So there you go. You do also get as well 2 sprues of like jerry cans and oil cans and water cans and accessories, which I think is brilliant. Like, you know, your stuff with ammunition in, and all different types of your ammunition barrels and food things and water coolers and all that. I think it's really good. So you get all that type of stuff. You get 2 sprues of that. So it only says for the M1a1 to make just like a couple of them. So, you know, I thought it was really good. And then the only thing that downside with the Rye Field kits are they don't come with any figures, a bit like Dragon and stuff. So the kits I'm going to actually use with this is I've researched on the net and all that, and I can find a few decent bits, but there's none that I really want to use. So I'm just going to use this out of the stash and use a couple of, just basically 1 or 2 of these. I think I might just use 1. In fact, I might use 3. I might use him for the 2 sort of cupolas, and then I might use 1 of these 2 just standing here. Because I was going to originally do it on a little like diorama, but I'm not going to now. I'm just going to do it just on a, you know, just sitting as it is basically. Because the beautiful other half has also said that I can now put a couple of kits, made kits, on the DVD and television stand in the front room. So the M-Build M10 is there, and obviously I'm going to stick this one, I think, there, because obviously she bought me the kit. So the good thing is, guys, if you're in Britain, this kit is now released in Britain. The downside is I could not believe the price of it when I saw it on eModels. And eModels are by far one of the cheapest retailers model wise in Britain. It's £61.99. I could not believe it. I was astounded. It's like Tamir's new M47 or whatever it is. That's £63.99, and I just you know, I find it hard to part with that type of money now with the family. It's just so hard. That's why I've not bought any kits recently, because I just don't want to spend. I can't justify £50 or £60 on a kit that I might not build for months or even a year or so. Do you know what I'm saying? So anyway, by the by, so yeah, it's 60. What retails at about £61.99. Now they also, Rye Field also have brought another M1a1 Abrams out, which is just the basic M1a1 Abrams Gulf War version, 1991, and that has got no interior or anything, so it's just your basic kit. But again, it looks a beautiful kit to have. But if it was me and I got the money to spend, I definitely have this. But yeah, the missus got it me quite cheap. She got it me a few months ago before it was released, and she got it from Lucky Model, I think, in Japan, wherever they are. But yeah, and we got it a few months before, like, so you know, I was quite chuffed with that, because obviously the Abrams being my favourite kit. Anyway guys, that's the update of the cell build, the M1a1 Abrams. So I will be releasing an update, a monthly update of my other kits that I'm doing at the minute, which is the BMP3, Trumpeter BMP3, the Tiger 1 mid version from Tamiya, and also the M build, which is now done and complete, but that's all done. And obviously I'll just say what I want to do, a couple of shout outs and all that, and a few future sort of builds I've got planned. Anyway guys, hope you're all well and safe, stay safe, thank you for your continued support, I really do appreciate it, and may the force be with you.